In this video, we're talking Min Medusas for big pre-spawn muskies. Let's go! The Min Medusa really shines in pre-spawn because of its small profile. It's the downsized version of the standard Medusa, which is this Medusa. So this is the regular Medusa. Both of these are big rubber baits made by Chaos Tackle. Here's a size comparison between the two. So you can see here, hold this up, hopefully the camera gets this, we'll bring this back. The regular Medusa, it's a bit larger than the small, but the small just has that perfect profile for spring and for the pre-spawn. So some of my favorite colors for the Mid Medusa is this color that I keep bringing up. This is the Gold Digger color. This was a last year's show color, so a 2024 show color. I've loved this color. I used this on the regulars and on the mids, and I had a lot of success last year with this color. So I'll hold this color up. This is the Gold Digger color. Another one of my all-time favorite colors for Medusas. This is the Eagle color. It has a nice color profile to it. This is in the regular size, but this is another one of my all-time favorite colors for Medusas. This is the Walleye color. And quite frank, this is probably one of the only colors that you do need. This color just gets it done. It's very simple. It's highly available. It's not a custom color, but it just gets, fish just love this color. It's just so natural looking, and it's just very versatile too. Another shout out to a color that I love is, it was a show color from last year again, and it was the Blue Moon color. We did great on that color. In terms of gear, where I'm throwing this on a heavy action rod that's weighted appropriately for the Min Medusa. In terms of reels, a lot of people are throwing this on the Shimano Tranks. You just want to make sure that you've got that higher gear ratio. So the one for the Shimano Tranks is 7:6:1. The Lexas have some with an 8:1 pickup, and I think there's another one that's like a 7:7:6 pickup. But you just want to make sure that you have higher gear ratios when throwing these to just really pick up that extra slack so you can rip these fast and aggressive. In terms of leader, and these are smaller. I'm usually throwing this on a 100-pound fluorocarbon leader by Stealth Tackle. That seems to work for me. It's been effective. And then braided line. And that 80-pound braided line is pretty much a standard for me across most of my setups, but it works. I'm usually throwing this on Suffix. So if you want, you can use a colored line to see where your lure is at, but I always just stick to the standard green low-vis line. So when working one of these lures for the pre-spawn, you'll see in this clip, we're back in a bay. The water has been warmed up because it's a shallow bay. There's a lot of cover here, so we're pretty much flipping and pitching these things almost like a bass fisherman into tight cover and giving it quick, aggressive rips. So you can see here in the video that I throw the Mid Medusa out, and I'm working it along the cover. There's a lot of logs, there's a lot of laydowns here. So while I'm working it through that timber, I was ripping it, and the fish was just hiding in pretty skinny water. This is only about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet. But you can work these things very aggressively, and don't be afraid to work these aggressively in this time period. Even though the water's cool, these fish will still slam this thing. So this is one of my favorite videos from last year, just because we had the pattern down for the pre-spawn, and I was throwing this exact lure here. This is the Gold Digger color in the Mid Medusa. So we were back in this bay, and I knew that there's a lot of emergent weed growth that grows back here. Comparing temperatures to the main lake and other bays, this bay had warmed first. So I had been ripping this lure through this area, and at first when ripping the lure, I really wasn't getting anything, and it was getting a lot of weeds stuck in it. So I decided that just to try ripping it more aggressively, because I had initially been ripping it slow because of the water temperature. Well, the water temperature doesn't necessarily matter. just rip this thing to keep the presentation in the ideal strike zone. So I started ripping very aggressively, and that's when this fish just connected with it. It was sitting in this emergent grass and just came up and really slammed this lure. So it was a very exciting catch for last year. The pre-spawn can also be a very frustrating time of year because you can just go out here and just get killed. And that's what's actually happening to us this year, is we can just not get on any fish. We have tried all the tricks and we have not seen a single fish. But sometimes it just comes down to when the fish are going to be moving in. They move in maybe a little bit later this year, just because we had a much harder winter than we had last year. But hopefully this video helps you to master the Min Medusa. Thanks for watching.